We have been celebrating this week National Volunteers Week around the nation and in our broadcast area in the Flow family, Victoria, New South Wales and South Australia. And we have noticed quite a number of our country sporting leagues, footy clubs, netball clubs honouring their volunteers. One volunteer who was honoured by the AFL is Mr. Ray Giersch from the Tanunda Football Club. They say that age is no barrier for this 87-year-old who is a veteran volunteer at the club. He says, "I've always loved the game of AFL and wanted to be involved in my local hometown footy club. Over 40 years I've been at the club. I've been a runner and even played a couple of games, a boundary umpire and now a timekeeper and ground announcer." And the photo shared is a beautiful photo of Ray with the timekeeping clock from the club. He says, "Everyone is friendly. They seem to be like having me around. They look after me. I thought the club might get sick of me and wanted a younger model. It's really fun to volunteer. Give it a go. Your club needs you." And one club that does need you for volunteering is the Kniverley Football Club. They've posted on their Facebook page that this weekend they've got a footy farm working bee. Just a good example of how volunteering is diverse at our local sporting clubs. The working bee will be to roll up some fencing, make some new gateways and some minor fence repairs, burn 2 paddocks and pick up some stumps ready for cropping. So I remember back in my junior days having to do fruit picking as one of the fundraisers for the club, picking oranges in the stinking heat during the summer. It is great to get your kids involved in volunteering as well. Here at Flow, we are very grateful for volunteers who, well, among other things, post the results on the Game Day website so that we can keep track of how your local club is going, and our volunteers who participate on the Friday night sports show as our correspondents telling us what's been happening in local leagues. But let's not forget all the other volunteers involved in our sporting clubs, the strappers, trainers and gate attendants, the ones who get the rosters going up. We've got the timekeepers and ground stewards and announcers at the games. We're thankful for the boundary umpires and umpires, whilst some of them get paid to do it. At the junior levels, I think that's often volunteers, and we do see across the Facebook pages of our clubs people calling out for volunteers for weekend games, particularly in netball umpiring. We're grateful for our volunteers in Interleague who put their hand up. We've got some Interleague clashes that have happened and some that are coming up, and country carnivals, volunteers who are probably already coaching at a local club level who put their hand up to help out and make the long journey for that. We have to remember the players. The players are volunteers as well. There's some that get paid, but I think below the senior level, and probably also more so in netball, even the very senior level, they're volunteers that give their time to make the club able to put a team out on the park. And let's not forget the canteen. The wonderful volunteers on our canteens that keep us fed with hot pies, or whether it's soup during the winter, or just those snacks or drinks we need, and then the bar staff as well at the local footy or netball club. And we have to remember too the office bearers, the presidents, the secretaries, the registrars who go through hell sometimes getting all the registrations in, and the treasurer who pulls their hair out and probably ages twice as fast as usual, keeping the club afloat. We're grateful for our volunteers. If you're grateful for your volunteers, maybe a good way to show your gratitude is to put your hand up and help out, or at least give them a friendly smile when they're helping you out this weekend.